first ground of impeachment of the third impeachment complaint. The Honorable Suntay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, sa ating mga kasamahan dito sa komite, bago tayo pumasok sa substance ng complaint number 3, mahalagang balikan muna natin ang tungkulin natin sa ilalim ng rules of impeachment. Ang mandato ng committee ito ay simple, ngunit mabigat. Tiyakin na ang bawat impeachment complaint na dinala sa kapulungan ay pumasa sa pamantayan ng batas. Kaya ang panawagan ko sa bawat miyembro ay pairali natin ang parehong antas ng pagsusuri na inaasahan sa anumang legal proceedings. Maingat, patas at walang kinikilingan. Ang tanong sa harap natin ngayon ay hindi kung political controversy, kundi kung ang complaint ba ay naglalaman ng ultimate facts na kung ipagpapalagay na totoo ay bumubuo ng impeachable offense sa ilalim ng Rule 3, Section 5. Mahalaga rin tandaan natin na meron na tayong established standards ang committee ito. Dahil ng ilang linggo lang na nakaraan, dumaan rin sa committee na ito yung impeachment complaint laban sa Pangulong Marcos. Mula sa mga naunang disposisyon ng impeachment complaints, malinaw na sinabi ng komite na ito na hindi sapat ang mga aligasyon na nakaantabay lamang sa administrative process, audit observation, o konklusyon na walang malinaw na factual particulars tulad ng unlawful acts, personal participation, o personal gain. Sa parehong pamantayan na iyon, dapat natin suriin ang complaint 3 and 4. Kung ang mga aligasyon ba ay tunay na naglalatag ng impeachable offense o kung ang mga ito ay naglalarawan lamang ng mga pangyayaring hindi pa naman napapatunayan na illegal na gawain. Ang diskusyon na ito na nais kong buksan ay nakatuon dito sa pamantayan na ito. Now, dadako na ako sa aligasyon. On complaint 3, naisaad na on August 22,
If I may interrupt, Honorable Suntay, we are deliberating on a per ground basis.
Yes.
We are only on the first ground.
I'm on the first ground, Madam
Thank you.
Chair. It was just an opening statement. On August 22, 2022, as alleged, VP Sara requested an additional amount of 250 million for confidential funds, as was stated by the Honorable Congresswoman Laila De Lima. The allegation establishes only that the respondent requested confidential funds. Requesting funds is part of the budget execution process and is not illegal per se. The complaint does not allege that the request violated any law or constitutional prohibition. Thus, no impeachable offense was pleaded. On paragraph 24, it stated, only 125 million was approved for release for the office. But the signing alone constitute an impeachable offense? Signing of a disbursement voucher is a ministerial or administrative act necessary for fund release. The complaint does not allege that the voucher was falsified or illegal. Therefore, the paragraph does not plead any unlawful overt act. On paragraph 27, the cash was placed into 4 traveling bags. VP Sara was, as alleged, even assuming that the instructions was given, the allegation describes operational handling of confidential funds. Dahil ang disbursement ng confidential funds, hindi naman cheque ang ini-issue sa mga confidential agent. Naturally, you would need cash to disburse for to be distributed. At 4 p.m., as alleged on paragraph 28, December 20, Acosta gave, ito yung tungkol sa handling raw ng funds, Colonel La Chica gave the full amount of 125 million. The paragraph describes a transfer between subordinates. No allegations is made that the respondent received the funds or personally benefited, which is very important, yung personal benefit. Handling of funds, the distribution should benefit someone. We are trying to impeach the Vice President. This distribution of money, of the confidential funds, ultimately benefited the Vice President. I read through all the entirety of the complaint. And there is no specific allegation that the money was indeed, that the money indeed went to the Vice President. On paragraph 37, using her subordinates and the VPSG, this is a conclusory allegation unsupported by factual details. The complaint does not specify the amount allegedly taken, the benefit obtained, the assets acquired. Under Rule 3, Section 5, conclusions do not constitute ultimate facts. The complaint further alleges that the Vice President disbursed the amount in 11 days. You know, we have to take note. The request from the Office of the Vice President was made on August 20, 2022. The funds were approved by the President and downloaded to the Office of the Vice President on December 20. 11 days before the end of the calendar year. So, but the question is, does rapid disbursement alone constitute an impeachable offense? Does it establish illegality? Confidential funds may be disbursed quickly due to operational requirements. The complaint fails to show the unlawful diversion. Saan ba ginamit yung confidential funds? COA issued, it is true that COA issued its first audit observation memorandum. But an audit observation memorandum is a preliminary audit finding, requesting clarification. It does not establish liability nor show that respondents personally falsified documents. It was also alleged that COA issued a notice of disallowance on August 8, 2024 for items totaling 73 million. But a notice of disallowance establishes potential administrative liability subject to appeal. It does not automatically establish criminal conduct or an impeachable offense. Now, ang kailangan natin malaman, is there a final audit observation issued by the COA? O wala? Because I was going through the complaint, there was no mention of a final audit observation. If there was, then it was not contained in the complaint. So, Madam Chairman, with regards to the first allegation, on my part, these are my observations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Since I observed that to manifest on
Madam-
the first ground, the Honorable
Madam Chair.
Marcoleta.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madalas pong binabanggit yung notices of disallowance and audit observation memo. Para po sa akin, ito po ay mababaw na ground to constitute an impeachable offense. Unang-una po, ang notices of disallowance ay appealable. They are contestable. Yung pong audit observation memo is just a memo issued by the COA for deficiencies in documentation not involving pecuniary loss. Ang notices of disallowance po ay pwede pang i-appeal ng Office of the Vice President sa regional level ng COA, sa commission proper ng COA, at pwede pang humantong sa Supreme Court. The notices of disallowance does not presuppose guilt on the part of the Vice President. It is not tantamount to a prosecution. Kaya wag po natin itong gamitin, itong mga dokumento na ito, as if meron ng ginawang kamalian ang ating Vice Presidente. Dahil dito po pumapasok yung procedural due process kung ito pa'y accorded sa ating Vice Presidente. At isa pa po, yung pong mga ginawa ng Quadcom nung nakaraang taon, yung pong pagbubukas ng mga envelope I don't think yan po ay kasama sa trabaho ng Kongreso. Dahil ang ang pag-audit po ay trabaho ng COA. Meron po tayong Latin legal maxim, potestas delegata non delegari. Delegated
The
power should
Honorable
not be
Marcoleta
delegated
is
further.
reminded to confine the manifestation to the subject matter of the impeachment
Opo,
proceeding.
this is pertaining to the...
This is not
the
about Quadcom. This is the impeachment proceeding on the 2 complaints against the Vice President. Please stick to the subject matter of this impeachment proceeding.
But the envelope, yung opening of the envelopes, hindi po ba may kinalaman
If you have
ito?
concerns about the proceedings of Quadcom, perhaps you should address it in the other forums, but not in the impeachment proceedings. The Honorable Marcoleta is so reminded
Opo,
to stick to the subject matter.
yun lang naman po, Madam Chair, notices of disallowance. Ito po ay hindi mga dokumento lamang na ito ay appealable, contestable at hindi ito nangangahulugan ng Vice Presidente ay may ginawa ng irregular dahil ito ay contestable. Yun lamang po ang aking obserbasyon. At ma'am, if I may react dun sa earlier remark made by the chair, I think I was alluded to. Kasi nagkaroon po ng spectacle kahapon.
The chair just adopted the manifestation of the Honorable Marcoleta yesterday during our determination of form.
Opo, yung pong I am speaking out of premonition. Actually, I'm not speaking out of mere premonition. I was speaking out of experience.
But that's
Opo.
what the committee heard. Nevertheless, Honorable Marcoleta, this is likewise not a subject matter of this impeachment proceeding.
Opo, winawarningan ko lang po ang audience na to observe proper decorum. Wala naman po sigurong masama doon, Madam Chair, di po ba?
But of course, for as long as the public are not committing any offense inside this committee hearing, then there is no basis at all to call their attention or to even mention their name.
Okay, ma'am, pero nagkaroon po ng president kasi sa Senado. Salamat po.
Honorable
Thank you, Madam Chair. I completely agree with my distinguished colleague, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. Constitution is very clear in its enumeration of impeachable officers. The Secretary of Education is not one of them. The actions of the Vice President as the Vice President of the Philippines is separate and distinct from her actions as Secretary of Education. But assuming for any stretch of imagination that we find the thing one and the same, the complaint alleges the exchange of money exchanging hands, but it does not allege any wrongdoing or illegal act. Kasi yung narration, sinabi lang, napunta, binigay dito. But that's the very nature of confidential funds. It's money changing hands, being distributed. And in all those narrations, we cannot simply assume na and simply conclude that the funds was actually went to the Vice President and became for her for her enjoyment. So I think that is a conclusion. Kasi doon sa narration, sinabi, napunta kay whoever, kung kani-kaninong mga tao. Kung kay BP directly, at sinasabi natin siya nagpa-withdraw, bakit kailangan pa umikot yung pera kung siya sa kanya rin pupunta? There is nothing in the complaint that states that it was used illegally. What is present is a conclusion made that it was used illegally. We cannot simply say that it went to VP Sara for her personal gain. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable
Madam Chair.
Chua.
Chair.
Honorable Chua, and then Honorable Tino, and then Honorable Abante.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This time, Madam Chair, I beg to disagree with my esteemed professor,
and my mentor, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez, who happens to be my ninong also,